What are we playing? We're playing Halflings with a missing... with a missing tree. Interesting. At least this should be pretty quick. Babe and Chef. Is the bot actually working?
Follow me,
yeah.
Everything is alright.
So he's... I don't understand that, but we'll take it. The headless me will take it. I had no clue. I played one game with this team, I think. I had no clue what's on up and down. Oh, definitely defense. He has 7 rerolls now to go with his. Okay, so I got 4 blitzes. Oh, it's multiple block. Should probably have looked at that, but it's fine. No, his computer is doesn't want to start Blood Bowl. So we're playing a quick CCL game and then jumping into Jonathan's game instead. Apparently his PC is shitty old. Okay. Are we blitzing to blocking? Are we? Are we? No, we're not surfing. That would be silly. What the? So much for a blitz. Straight in with double skulls. Yeah, logs. Oh, we're close to have a skull into skulls now. That's what you get for having a green a jump on with a green top.
Oh, this fucking guy with his fucking chef.
He do have 7 rerolls. This is hilarious. I got blitz. I got blitz and straight in with a double skull.
If you want to be toxic and play flings, at least work out how to. Like the flings I just faced. I mean, just a horrible build.
And now he one-dicing. What the fuck?
Almost all his flings had skills.
Into injury.
Some of them had 3 or 4. I mean, just ew, yuck.
Oh, this is going to be fun. It will be fine.
Yeah, is that a DO fine, or will it actually be fine?
It should still be fine, right? I still got 11
Yeah,
elves. And I got 4 blitzers, which is really nice playing flings.
Been massively overthinking my TSD goblin build today.
Oh, what are you coming up with? Any good?
No, of course not, it's goblins. But it should be fun.
Okay, are you coming up with something fun?
Yes. I've decided that I don't think goblins need skills. So I'm not really having any.
What is...
No, I was playing goblins, he was playing flings. He was 400 TV above me because of his ridiculous bloaty build. Meaning I could have Ripper and a bribe.
Okay,
And then I just went round chainsawing his better flings in the first half and cutting them into little tiny pieces.
Okay, I guess...
Which he didn't seem to realise was happening.
Guess this time at least road pushes.
Look, it's a step up. Next time we'll work on something he needs to dodge, and then the one after that you can smack him about.
Nope. At least I will be fast. Crystal is supposed to play at 8 o'clock, and in this speed we will definitely get there.
Oh, you'll get there, yeah. He also, I mean, I don't mind taking a both down against something with AV6.
No, me neither.
But when my trolls did that against the flings in the game I finished about half an hour ago, he thought it was outrageous that I'd take a both down when a push was available.
Yeah, and this time it was alright. I would probably have preferred tossing away from that tree first.
He typed, "Why would you do that?" I pointed to his dead fling.
Yeah, especially with Mighty Blow, right?
Absolutely. I've got AV9 and regeneration. You've got a halfling. I'm pretty sure that I'm coming off better from that.
This, in theory...
I think that lady's getting kicked in the face. We're seeing some wife beating here.
Why
that go for it? That ludicrous.
Because he won a handoff. He wanted to do a 4+ handoff.
Yeah, that's not great either.
It worked.
Yes, but this is the confirmation bias, isn't it? Oh, good things happen, therefore I'm smart and do the right thing. No, you're an idiot. They just worked. And sometimes I do bad things and they work. It doesn't mean I'm a genius. It just means I got away with it.
Yeah, and sometimes the bad things is the only things left to do. Like we talked about.
Look, in the absence of a good plan, a bad plan will do. I've always said that.
Like we have had a couple of games lately where we've been casting where definitely a terrible plan is better than nothing. Hey, Crystal. Yeah, apparently Wolfpack's computer doesn't compute. Which I guess is
and then we also had that wonderful game where, a couple of games where people have started with terrible plans. In term 1, which, really, for term 1 particularly, you should come up with at least a not terrible plan.
I guess we
principally don't try and hit trees and things, and don't try and hit death rollers. Just say no to that.
Say no to the death roller. Can we hit again?
I don't mind games like this. I've always said re-rolls are for the weak.
And
Just don't do things wrong. It's easy.
I'm getting rid of some of the small fat things as well.
Well, yes, hurrah. There's nothing worse than flings that just, you hit them, they go down, and then they're not even stunned. It's like, well, that's cheating. Oh dear. You are, well look, you're getting all your skulls out of the way nice and early. Because dice work like that, don't they? Over the game they will average out to something fair and reasonable.
Oh, probably closer than this, at least.
You know, if you've rolled lots of ones in the first couple of turns, it means you'll get some good turns later. That's how maths works.
Unfortunately, I'm not really planning to play myself. Maybe I should. Yeah.
At least this is CCL, not Rebel, so I can mention the fact that you're playing Blood Bowl without getting you banned.
I played my Rebel game the other day. It was lovely. I killed some Dark Elf with my Amazons.
I should stop ragging on Rebel. I mean, I hear so many good things about it, as well as some things that
I
worry
will
me.
still, if somebody wants to start playing Blood Bowl, it's still one of the places
I'd recommend they come on Fumble and join the 145 Club.
That
If they
is
really
also
want pretty graphics, then I hear the Rebel training grounds are very good.
Yeah.
Though a couple of people have said their mentor was absolute rubbish and never
But
really
that-
helped. But most people have had really good experiences there, and that's excellent.
But that's
what
the
a
whole
community should do.
Yeah. But that's the whole thing. You can be lucky no matter where you play.
Of course you can.
Um,
And every community has its heroes and its, less than nice people. Because that's humans.
we cannot really.
I mean, some Republicans are moderately sane and haven't tried to storm a building and end democracy.
Fucking hell. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, that was ludicrous watching.
Well, 2021 is definitely 2020's son, but it's gonna have to keep going to live up to 2020. But it started well. We've had all the Brexit problems already. My wife tried to order something just yesterday, and the company said, no, we no longer deliver to the UK. It's not worth the trouble, and it's not worth paying the VAT, and we're just not going to do it. But at least we've got some kind of deal. And, no matter how embarrassing our shame is, at least America are being a good ally and doing more embarrassing things.
Yeah,
Oops, there goes another little fat one. Oops, there goes another little fat one.
It's quite in hot cold ice at the moment. I even think about blocking the tree, but that's just stupid.
What do you mean? The ball is on the ground between some elves, and you're removing flings at a rate of knots. I think this is all golden. Considering no rerolls, you're going to get some, 1 in 9s and some 1 in 36s. It's not going to do so all about them. It just means good turn ordering, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's fine.
There we are. Everything's Gucci.
Hold my beer. I can do anything you do, just for us.
Yeah, life's pretty good, Chunter. I mean, we're locked down, the kids can't go to school, but, me and the wife seem to be coping.
Yeah.
Things could be worse. It could be raining.
Did your kids manage to get 1 day of school?
No, they both had an inset day on the 1 day of school.
The same here. That's just yeah. What? Yeah.
My daughter so far is coping much better than the first lockdown. Sadly, she's in the GCSE year, so it's a big knock for her.
Yeah.
She spent years obviously building up to these, and now to hear they're not happening has really depressed her. But she's trying to stay cheery. And yeah, I was kidding. I don't think 2021 can live up to how awful 2020 was, no matter how hard it is.
Yeah.
I mean, for a start, Orange Baby Man is going to be gone in a couple of weeks, one way or the other.
It's a question if he's going to be awake.
I think he'll run a dirty protest. I think he'll be pulled out of there naked, smearing poo on the walls as he goes. I think that's how that ends. I'd love it to go out like Scarface. I have a feeling it'll go out much more like a screaming 2-year-old in a nursery.
Hey!
How's things over in the Low Countries, Junter? Or Crystal, I should call you. I shouldn't shorten you to Junter, should I?
Everybody else does.
I know, but I try and be polite to people. I'm nice, remember?
This is a weird game. I'm not sure my 2 rerolls has made much difference. Everything is either really good or really bad.
Yeah, feast or famine.
He's the same.
Yeah.
That's his second double skulls as well. He just have a million rerolls.
Well, that's because he's got all of his and all of yours.
Plus an extra. Yeah, rolled the good old 3, so he stole my 2, plus got 1 from the secret bank of rerolls.
And now, of course, that Dunsinane will not... what is it? I've lost the name. Burnham Wood will not come to Dunsinane. That tree is done.
Yes. And my lineup is hopefully scoring at one point. And we're running out of flings to hit, which is always good.
Oh dear, really, Crystal? That's... Yeah, I mean, my brother's extremely right-wing, and he's always, oh, well, you know, every time we lock down to save an old person's life, we kill 10 poor people in the developing world. I'm like, well, for start, you don't really give a shit. You're extremely right-wing, you proto-fascist. That's just an excuse because you want businesses to keep running.
Yeah, that's the classic is we should start with our own, or whatever they're normally saying. It's
well, try telling someone whose granny's just died that it's all right that, you know, 4 as yet unborn brown people will live. And whilst I can see that maths makes a whole heap of sense to a humanitarian like myself, it's, you know, it's just not going to be persuasive, is it?
No.
And I think we can still help the developing world and still have a robust economy, and yet perhaps not all die.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I did favour full lockdowns. I know, isn't it wonderful to see him floating? Very red dwarf.
Yeah,
I think you should wear a green jumper on your green screen all the time. I think it's cool.
It's just partly. I can see my the zipper in the middle. But there's, I think.
Yeah, when you lean back, it's so much cooler still. Yeah, Crystal, look, it's vital that such key industries as sex workers still function at these times.
A double skull more in this game. This is hilarious. Yeah, I also find it a little bit funny is like the classic like reason for not helping other people. Like the normal reason is the same as your brother will not help the third world because we need to take care of our own first.
Yes.
But they're not really doing that either. It's just another excuse for freaking...
No, exactly. It's an excuse because his investments, he wants to keep making money because he's retired now at 55, having worked in the city all his life. On a huge pile of money, he wants to keep getting bigger. And if you actually challenge him, oh, so what do you do for the developing world? Because personally, I don't have to talk about it, mate, but I do a lot for charity. You know, for the last 20 years, I've sponsored a child at a time through something called ActionAid. I'm a big fan of. And, you know, I mean, I don't earn anything like what he does, but I've always given to the charities I believe in. I've always done a developmental charity. I've always done a UK children's charity. And I've always done an overseas development charity. And I also give a small amount yearly to an AIDS foundation because my uncle died of AIDS. So, you know, I've picked 3 charities that are causes I believe in. I don't give to animals. I think too many people do. I don't give to just standard causes in the UK, but I do give to deprived children in the UK. And I think overseas development is huge and important, so that's the 3 I choose. If you ask my brother, he'll talk a big game about, oh, well, you know, I do my bit by keeping the economy growing. And I'm not really sure, you know, the people in developing countries see half the benefit from that. He kids himself, they do. Anyway, it's the lies we tell ourselves. But I mean, I do see that there's tension between life, liberty, and livelihoods. And I am slightly worried about the huge erosion of civil liberties. Technically, it is illegal for me to leave the house if I'm not going to, go essential food shopping. If I'm not a key worker. And that's. I mean, I know why we have to have that, but these are liberties we fought for, and I do worry about the erosion of civil liberties. And yes, people need jobs in the future. We have to keep the economy going, but what's the point in that if everyone's dead?
Yeah. It's... Hey, this is fun.
Yes, I think they're at the not threatening stage now.
I'm so tempted to even jump on the thing just because I can.
Don't. Leave it alone. It's done nothing to you.
It's dead.
Literally, it's done nothing to you. So it knocked one elf out. You can forgive it that. And he doesn't have any things worth really jumping on.
No, it's more...
That was the other thing about these flings I messed up earlier. I had a wizard I never needed to use. I had a bribe that I never needed to use because he did eventually casualty my chainsaw in turn 8 the first half after I'd sawed all his good flings in half. So I only threw one foul in the entire game on the tree I'd just wizarded. And yet I still got 8 fling casualties. It was lovely.
Where is he going? Come
yeah,
back!
I mean, Crystal Hunter, I have to say I don't disagree. There's, I'm not quite as stupid as I sometimes tell people I am, and I did sort of understand the global financial crisis even before that fun film came out and explained it to us reasonably well. And unfortunately, if you take the analogy that what they were doing was juggling so fast we couldn't see how many balls there were, and whilst they were telling us they were juggling 6 balls, there was only actually 3. The way they've sort of solved it is to tell us they're now juggling 8 balls, but there's still only 3. All the fundamental underlying problems of the financial system are still exactly the same. They've just dressed them up in different ways and different language, and it will all come crashing just as it did before.
3-star player points, 3-1.
And that's before we start talking about some of the other bubbles. I mean, we've had things like the .com bubble, but things like the Netflix bubble is going to burst pretty soon. Some of the media companies are so massively overvalued, and they just have no way of earning and paying back the debt they have.
How many flings do we have left?
Personally, I think we need to look what's next after capitalism, because capitalism also requires perpetual growth, and that's just not going to be able to happen in the way it has done in the past. We've pretty much exploited all the markets now. I do hope the citizen's wage will be somewhere we go before I'm dead. I think that's a good answer. We need to move beyond the idea that your only valid action is one that generates profit, and start prioritising some actual human values more.
Reset. So we could be greedy and serve some flings, but I don't really want to serve them because then I cannot hit them.
Yeah, then you don't get SPP for them. That's the point we're at now. You are farming this poor man for SPP.
Oh yeah.
So you don't want to foul things, you don't want to surf things, because the only flings you want are the ones that get hurt. It's when you start resenting KOs, thinking, that's 2 more SPP I can't get. But surely we're looking at a 3-0 here. You could score early and take his ball again.
Depending of the rain, I think.
Yeah, the rain isn't ideal, is it? But it's not.
If I pick
worse for him than you.
The
odds of a misfield and you just being able to pick it up and score in 2 are pretty high.
Yeah.
And he hasn't got enough flings to stop you setting fairly rowdy forwards like you are here.
Yeah, I can.
Except you can do that on defense like you are on offense.
Yeah, I did already do that.
Oh, his one shot, and it's landing in the worst place possible for him.
Yeah, I hope
And if
that.
only his tree wasn't on the line, he might have some vague hope of doing something. But it is, and he isn't, so it won't.
And 2 go
Oh,
for it.
take the red die. Take the red die.
He's trying.
It's his only shot, isn't it? And
Oh,
even that's a bit like Trump's
touchback,
fraud
touchback.
claims. It's just not going to happen.
There's no touchback.
Did he take all... Yeah, he took all your rerolls this half as well.
Yes.
Well, rerolls are for the weak.
Hoppa.
I actually do think, particularly for some newer coaches, whilst I would always advocate get lots of rerolls, particularly when you're new, having the occasional half against something as easy as Flings where you don't have rerolls is really good for your discipline. Really good for turn ordering. I mean, Core's not struggling here because Core is such an experienced player, but any newer players that are watching, and they won't be, they'll be watching Rick Reckless, but any that have ended up here by accident, take this lesson. Core is casually making sure that when the fail comes, which could be his very first action, he's done the right things first. He's in the right shapes already. Turn ordering becomes such a huge importance when you can't afford to get anything wrong. And if it goes wrong, you've just got to eat it.
Yeah. Let's try.
However, he's got the Flings in such trouble that it's not actually that important at the moment, but it sort of is still.
Yeah, it's still.
And I mean, it is in every game. It's just when you haven't got rerolls, it's even more important.
Both down?
I think we're going to come and be terribly supportive of your game, Crystal, as soon as this one wraps up.
Coolio.
So good luck, and give us something worth catching up to.
Should I? I guess it's only a 3+. Should probably try to pass it for skilling up the line elf. Yeah, it's a bit shame with Wolfbug's game. It could have been a fun one. Crystal got humans versus wood elves.
Okay, yeah, we'll do, Crystal. We'll steal your viewer.
I think it'll be pretty fast. But yeah, depending on him mainly. I was about to say I could wrap this up pretty fast. If I just don't...
I wish everyone luck in Blood Bowl. I even wish people against me luck. I'd much rather beat them when they were lucky.
Can we? Yeah, we can. Do 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 do.
But no, now that he's gone, I can tell you privately for anyone still in chat that I think Crystal Hunter is always worth watching. A really different style to a lot of other Blood Bowl coaches. Very high impact, very high energy, really aggressive, really offensive plays, really creative stuff.
Like to call himself a Blood Bowl artist.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's not unfair.
No.
He doesn't do the obvious and the easy stuff all the time, but he's got a style that really works for him. I'm not sure it's the greatest style for newer players to copy, but it is a style to aspire to. It's all action. It's lots of fun. It takes no prisoners and keeps on coming. He's relentless.
Can we pass the ball?
And yet one of the more beautiful proofs of one of the great truths of Blood Bowl, which is there is no one right answer. There are many ways of getting it done. I've said before myself a lot of times that people focus on what skill and what setup should I use, and actually the real secret is whatever setup you use, whatever skills you pick, can you use it well on the pitch? Can you get the value out of what you've got? And if the answer is yes, then it doesn't matter what you do. If you can make Divine Catch work for you, then you'll be good at Blood Bowl.
These 2 KO returned. What a shame.
I mean, I can't. I'm a bit of an idiot. But Core could design the perfect roster for you. But if you've no idea how to use it effectively, then why has he done that?
It's actually potentially my shit is going my tendency to play with the 4 catches, no tree, no rerolls, it's not particularly something I will suggest everybody doing.
Oh God, no! I think that's an advanced Blood Bowl build.
Like even Dio doesn't like it because he's so used to using the tree as but also the anchoring around the tree and stuff, which you cannot.
Yes,
like,
using the tree as the fulcrum of his elves. I mean, as I've said, you don't use a fulcrum tree. What you do is you play like water. You go where you need to be. You flow and you find the routes of least resistance with lots of movement, lots of speed.
And it's a bit of shame my lovely jumbo block tree is got minus movement, but I'm playing Chaos Sunday, and I was already thinking about if I needed to
cutting
sack
the tree.
Yeah.
Because I mean, cut the tree, get a whiz, presumably, or
no, he's slower than
he's quite small, isn't he?
Yeah.
So at least you won't face inducements without it.
Yeah, and now it's Misney's game minus movement, which means if I win the game and
that's fine. So it's not there for the chaos. Oh well, that's perfect, isn't it? That means you get the option if you
the
get
minus
through
movement is a little bit annoying, but if I run into like Diarmy's roller dwarf, then having minus movement is whatever. Then he just need to stand somewhere anywhere.
Yeah.
So
no, there was a cracking example of what I'm talking about on Dio's Discord channel recently.
Mm-hmm.
Someone with a agility 4 beastman was saying, "What should I take next? He's got block, he's got agility 4. I've got a normal. Do I take 2 heads or do I take sure hands or what?" And lots of people were saying sure hands, including me. And Dio said 2 heads, and I agree with Dio. I would probably take 2 heads. You would probably take 2 heads. But 2 heads is a more advanced. You have to know better what you're doing with it to get the value out of an agility 4 2 heads beastman. Whereas everyone can get value out of a sure hands beastman. So my first answer was probably because I'm used to answering in the 145 club where we coach newer players. And quite often I'll give advice there I wouldn't take because I think it's better for someone at that level of play. They'll get better value out of what I'm suggesting. And if you don't know how to use an agility 4 2 heads piece to really dominate the pitch and really get value out of that, then you're probably better off with an agility 4 sure hands, which is always going to be useful. It matters less what you pick and more can you use it. Can you get the effectiveness out of that team value?
Boo.
Of course, people don't want to hear that because the bit that seems under their control is what skill do I pick. And I think that's a lie sometimes that we tell ourselves. Oh, if only I'd picked the right skills, I'd be doing better. Yeah, maybe.
Or maybe not.
Maybe actually, if you just were better at Blood Bowl, you'd be doing better. No matter what skills you've picked. But that's a much harder lesson to absorb. Personally, I'm fine with blaming myself. I've been married 20 years. I'm very used to the blame.
Is he? What the fuck is he on? I'm not sure. I could have looked. I have a habit of not really looking my coaches up, but of looking at them like anything about them.
Yeah, why? Yeah. Well, I'm like you. I don't.
But sometimes,
don't worry about the other coach. They should worry about me.
But sometimes in CCL, it is a good indication of how many star player points you can get away with getting.
Okay, so you're not thinking, should I be worried? You're thinking, can I farm them?
Yeah. And I probably...
Well, this is why you're known as the toxic showboater.
and judging from his play here, if it's definitely without pouring rain and with some rerolls,
well, when my 3-game-old goblins at a reasonably busy time of day rolls into a halfling team 400 up, I don't need to look at his record.
He bloody made it with 6+ handoff. Can he make the what pass? Is that
why not? Why shouldn't he? He's due some luck.
And the Trotsy made it as a 6 as well?
Everything works on a 6.
He might score! He scores!
With sex.
He will score!
Oh, the draw is on!
That's amazing!
Another blitz and he's got a draw off you, Core.
1, 2, 3, 4.
I would find that so funny.
That's hilarious. That's brilliant.
Love you as I do, I'd laugh all night about that and never let you live it down. So come on, pick up in the rain or face your doom. Hopefully this time he's sensible enough not to put the tree on the line so that he can throw teammate if there's a blitz. Come on, man, don't be an idiot. This time. Just don't be stupid this time. Come on, move that tree off the line. Just anywhere that isn't on the line, just one step back, it's fine. Just don't leave it there, just don't.
Don't leave my tree hanging.
He's gonna leave it there, isn't he? He is. He just so is.
I could use
If he does anything at all, perhaps he's just gone for a bit of a
We don't have time for that.
bio break.
Get back in here.
Or perhaps he's still shirt-coptering around the room over the fact that he scored.
Oh, that's a pretty nice touchdown. What was the throw teammate as well?
Yeah, only needed 2 6s and a re-roll on the landing. Easy. Take that tree off the line.
6-6. Oh, it's a 6 and the take route as well, just for good measure.
667, the neighbour of the beast.
I guess we could, just in case, move you two out there.
Yes, I would advise you to be, despite him leaving the tree on the line, I would advise you to be mildly careful here. Not that I'm advising, of course, and not that you'd listen.
I'm still setting up to if I get a quick snap I can hit all the...
You so are, aren't you? You're saying, fuck it, I'm going for him.
Sweltering heat. I don't know.
Did you leave anyone back? I couldn't see, and I've not...
Got a witch elf. I do hate the sweltering heat look. That's really annoying.
Yeah, I used to really enjoy, as dwarves, the anti-weather induced the
domey thing.
But the fact that it just made everything blue made me stop using it because it was just so ugly. And that was before someone pointed out to me that dwarves with the Altar of Nuffle could get 2 stars for 10k each, which in no way was broken. That was absolutely fine.
Sure thing.
I don't know why you stopped us doing that, Core. I blame you.
It's fine. I was definitely... I don't think there's any secret that I was heavily in favor of stopping that shit.
Yeah, it was utter nonsense. But, you know, it was fun. You killed people's fun. You broke their toys.
I did. And I slept absolutely perfectly fine afterwards.
And now your Dark Elves have got wood.
Yeah, that's fine.
Fine. He can only kill one of them.
That is correct. That's the thing, as soon as there's multiple in contact, it doesn't... You can only hit one of them per turn anyway.
Yeah, absolutely. If you're putting one in contact, then it genuinely doesn't matter. Unless it's things like dwarves where you can kill one a turn and you probably can't get away that easily.
Yeah, that's mainly...
But those elves can be there or not be there next turn as they choose, can't they?
Potentially. We have the non-reroll thing is a bit of a factor.
And despite flings going wherever they want, the fact is that, with that contact, either the tree's got to hit one out of the way or they've got to go through a tackle zone to move at all. 1 in 9's happen, and certainly, if you're dodging 4 times to get somewhere, there's a reasonable chance you don't.
I love it. He was, as soon as you're dodging 4 times, he was showing a dodge through.
Yeah, because he's fling, so of course he is.
Oh,
and if it doesn't work, they'll be like, it's so unlucky. I mean, I'm a fling. I should go wherever I want every time.
Oh, we're blocking.
I don't know why I pick that accent when I talk about flings.
Let me guess. Could have something to do with somebody that's playing flings? Oh, he's multiple blocking.
No, actually, Sky Blue Monty's been playing all sorts of things lately. It's been nice to see.
Oh, he's playing all?
He's been. I saw him on Undead. I saw him on an Elfie thing, I think.
Oh.
I think he quite likes the idea of playing something he's vaguely competitive with now that he thinks he's good at Blood Bowl. And now that he's got a lot better. He is great at Blood Bowl. I'm trying so hard to be nice.
Yeah, if you want to go for the 5+ pickup, wait a bit.
Here we go. Two dodges through, 1 dodge out. So that's 3 dodges. Oh no, he's going with the one that has a bit less dodging. Well, that'll never catch on.
Then 5+ pickup. Nope. Look, into the. Ugh. I didn't like that.
I like Bertha. She's one I'm going to miss. She brings something just really, really different. I faced her on tabletop once, and yeah, she gave me some interesting challenges.
No, I cannot.
All right, FD. Okay, so it's the viewers forcing him to. Well, and I'm kidding, of course. Look, he loves his flings, and that's fantastic. He's very, very good with them. And if anyone's happy doing the Blood Bowl they choose to do, then that's a good thing.
Ding dong.
Boom. And another fat little Halfling leaves the pitch.
That's not a block. Oh, I could have done it from that angle. Fuck's sake, that's stupid. Should have blitzed with the blitz on the other side.
Yeah, I did think your blocking patterns were not ideal this turn. But...
No, I wanted to chain push the ball, but I'm sure
I see.
I could have done it from. I could have done it from on this on Lutu Payson instead. Where I put the lineman, I can use that blitzer instead.
So it all worked out. The ball did exactly what you wanted, bounced away from the tree, giving you a nice easy pickup. Yeah, I'm not sure those are the same. Roller dwarfs, whilst I don't love them, there's a lot of builds they are effective against. I can't really say the same of double assassin dark elves.
That's terrible.
I suppose maybe against flings, the stab's not. No, it is. It's still awful.
It's maybe if it had movement 7, it might.
Yeah, well, I mean, they're going to get a tiny bit better and still not be worth taking in Blood Bowl 2020, aren't they?
Yeah, it's a bit of a weird one, yeah. At least roller dwarfs are funny as well, and they have.
I mean, what I find rude, I would take 2 of the blitzers away from dark elves, and I think then you'd see the assassins a bit more, and I'd give those 2 blitzers to high elves, who, of all the elves, should be the more martial ones, the more sort of military inclined.
Will you remove 2 catches then as well, or will you give them 4?
Yeah, you know, I'd be fine with that. Yeah, no,
that
4
seems
and 2.
Yeah, I think because 4 movement 7, it will be a even worse bloated team, but that will be a bit too much speed. I think if you give them 4.
Yeah, no, I think absolutely. 4/7 and 4/8 would be a ludicrously quick team. But no, I think 4 block to start with would turn high elf quite instantly, particularly if dark elf didn't. You'd get a little less dark elf, a little more high elf. Dark elves have still got 2 blitz, 2 witch builds, and you might occasionally see an assassin.
He did reroll that pass. Okay.
I think it slightly removes the overpowered ubiquitousness of dark elves, and we would get a slightly stronger high elf team. But of course, they've solved all of that by giving high elf throwers cannoneer, haven't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, FT. It's awful, isn't it? They go with one hand and then smack them in the face with their dick. Yeah. So they're now move 7, which is great for assassins, but shadowing is. Yeah, I mean, I say the word worse. Some people just say it's different. I think it's worse.
It is worse, but it's kind of worse for. Come on.
I can kind of see why they did it. It sort of feels like an easier dynamic to understand and to operate, but it's
it was horrible. Both. What is it? Tentacles.
Shadowing and tentacles.
It was just stupid because the mechanics was completely different. than anything else in the game.
Yeah. And yes, I mean, I understand people going, oh, but now a goblin can tentacle things as easily as a beast of Nurgle. Yeah, I mean, okay, but I think in the long term, it's probably going to be a change for the better. Because it just makes it more understandable. And there's so much, having recently tried to explain Blood Bowl to my son, who's been watching for years and picked up a lot of it, but obviously not some of the more niche rules. And every time I try and cover something like that, his eyes glaze over a bit.
Oh well, let's just do it this way then.
Well, I mean, someone did some interesting maths about it's ever so slightly better, but because it's better at pulling re-rolls, because of the straight line probabilities rather than the bell curve probabilities. It's there's some reason that it's slightly better and some reason it's slightly worse, and I don't massively care.
No, that doesn't make any difference. Hooray!
But yeah, neither have suddenly become a must-take. Both are still suboptimal skills. Though, as with all skills, if you know how to use them well. There was a famous team on Fumble of Nurgle who decided to, I think they had one claw MB hitter, but they went into the stymie. They, rolled into the foul appearance and disturbing presence, took tentacles everywhere, took lots of stand firm, and they were about stopping you and just preventing you doing anything. Yes, that's right. Yes, they don't get to use the team reroll because you're rolling it. That's right.
Oh shit, I'm running out of time.
Aren't we all?
Yeah.
I do worry there's a big red button in the White House that he hasn't pressed yet, and he might just feel, well, before I go...
Oh my god, don't even say
Right,
it.
I'm going to have a cigarette before we can talk about something
more
interesting than you smashing up flings. I should be back in a couple of minutes.
Oh fucking hell. Oh well. No! She should have skilled up! Bloody hell. Season 5. Okay. Season 4, so let's try it this way. Ghost. Rah! The Christmas ghost. Okay, if we make this pass, we fucking go. Just because we can. Full transparent. Unfortunately, his tree is also safe now. Yeah, let's do some go for it. I'm not sure what that's going to do. That's fine, we got some skill ups anyway. Bit gutted by the witch. Taking a rest. Cannot resist. Got skill, he's don't have anything. This is the lazy blitz that I don't want to do anything. Oh, and then he does something. Kills a fling. Dum dum da dum dum dum. Oh. Ah, the tree is out on this world swing gate. Wahaha. Something, something. And yes, at least he's not dead. Should probably get an apple now. I tried to showboating. Did he use an apple on the last? Or did it move? He's fielding 2 flings. Yay! Get a last go at killing a fling. Do we actually have the clan graphic on still? Yeah. Oh, no, no, no. No! This looked like a server error. No! Oh, please, no, no, no. Don't do it. Oof. Oh my, I thought it was so error for a second. Probably, oof, yeah, we don't have... Oh, agility. Ah! And suddenly, this is a much better team. Oh my lordy.